What's up, guys? Portuguese Mofo here. I got a series of 3 battles. I actually did 2 sets against Original today, and this is the first set of battles against him. So this is the first match. So we're going to see some exceptional use of fire rockets in these 3 battles. OG, the fire rocket machine. Alright, I think that's what this one's going to be titled. These are really fun games. Right, continue to challenge. This is another really good player. And yeah, so a lot of sweaty matches. So here we go. Before we get rolling here, alright, in this first match, okay, I went for more of the Tercio type, right? So I've got 3 units of matchlocks here. I've got 2 matchlock samurai and the warrior monks. I've got my core of katanas here. Alright, I've got 3 Naginata samurai. Okay, and then I've got 2 Naginata warrior monks on each flank. I have a unit of Daikyus with my avatar, right, the Portuguese mofo himself. And then I have light cavalry and fire cav for my cavalry contingent. That's all I brought. So now OG, this is not all of his units. Okay, he has his cavalry hidden, right, which is smart. Can't get a quick read on it. All right, these fire rockets, man, the bane of my existence today. These boys right here, they do some serious work on me. All right, then we got the Naginatas. All right. We got a core of katana samurais. 4 katana samurais with his bodyguard, okay? And his cav will come out here momentarily. So, yeah, we've got the morale shrine, we've got the sword dojo, and we have the farmhouse. Now, in this battle, right, I'm like, alright, I'm going to let him get the morale dojo. He's just in position to get it. So my thought process was, I was like, man, if I can set my guns up here. However, I set them up here, and they're not able to get great shots. You know, for me to have a chance in this battle, I needed to position them much better. But that's all right. This is how we learn, right? So he's moving up, and man, like, I know better. I should know, right? These guys are going to start doing some serious damage. So I'm like, all right, can I get into them quick? So I go into loose formation with my cav. Because, right, these are cav killers, but ooh-wee, devastating. Oh, hey, look at that. Basically knocked my fire cav in half. Missed the light cav, luckily. I'm able to, like, barely save them. And I am bringing these Naginata warrior monks over. I'm thinking maybe I can help. But here comes this larger contingent of cav, right? Like, the Naginatas can maybe help. I didn't get... Yeah, they did shatter, yep. I was like, pretty sure they don't make it out of this fight. And they don't. So, look at that, right? Fire rockets. Literally eliminated maybe my most expensive unit in this battle, right? So I'm able to catch some of his cav here, which was good, right? So he's going to sit back. Alright. Able to catch some of them. I'm trying to move the light cav around for a flank, but I forget to charge, right? And he gets into them. He does. He's doing a good job focusing over here. Okay. Now he's going to get another good shot here. Yeah, he's moving this cav around. I see that. So I am trying to screen, right? I don't do this fantastically. You know, this army I'm using here is a little more micro-intensive, and you'll see that, right? I definitely just get outmaneuvered in this fight. So, but these Naginatas, I'm okay with them over here. They got tied down with the Katana Sams, but I'm like, they're in the fight. I'll keep them there. I don't remember if I forget to pop off the war cry when it's available. I think at this point in the battle, though, the timer hadn't run out yet. So I'm just trying to get some shots, but I'm actually going to forget him here. And man, he's going to get a devastating shot. So I'm trying to move up so I can get in range to hopefully get some shots. It's weird, right? You want the high ground in the fight, but I'm kind of hoping so we get this. But I get the stop on my guns, and his general is actually hiding back here. They're getting some shots, but I do lose all these fights, right? This is not ideal here, right? Too much elevation. Even though I can get shots, right, we're just not in a good spot. So, and I'm definitely getting a lot of shots into my own guys, probably. So, this is when he kind of, man, I remember it being more devastating. I might have missed one of them, or it might be the next one. But he's gotten already some good shots, right? Doing a good job wedging his cav, right? Wedging cav is a good way to kind of sneak through things, right? He's shooting this gap here. And now I'm like, oh, snap. And I had just noticed, if I remember correctly, that my matchlocks were engaged. I didn't get them back in time, and now it's just... Right, now I'm a little out of sorts here, right? Just trying to get him out of it, but away from cav and trying to get these Naginatas into the fray, right? I think I did actually charge them, and then I was just hoping to get through after. But yeah, he ends up getting my general in this skirmish here, right? You're just starting to see. Now these katanas do come back. I end up telling them to charge the fire rockets, but it's way too late. They don't ever reach. So yeah, just devastating shots into the backs of my Naginatas. I'm trying to just get a rear on them, but, you know, Smart, he's getting out of there. And, yeah, more devastating enfilades, as you would call them. I wouldn't specifically call it an enfilade because it wasn't perfectly into, the strafe of how their unit was, right? Like an enfilade would be down this, like if he got a perfect shot down this flank, right? But, you know, these are technicalities of words, right? We all understand, right? At the end of the day, you don't want to be all bunched up or in line with a bunch of shots, right? These rockets can kill multiple units at a time. That's why I did try to go into a loose formation with my cav as I went into him, but he got that charge off. So, yeah, now he's just kind of cleaning me up, right? And I'm just trying to get my guys into some fights, but they're all about to rout here in a moment. Yeah, they're already routing. They shatter. And that's it. That's game over, right? So, another great job with the fire rockets. I definitely missed the first big shots that he got onto my general. But yeah, great game to OG. Really good player. So, we'll end the battle there. That was the first of the 3 matches. So, right, yeah, these series of battles, you know, for whatever reason, I've always struggled against fire rockets. And also struggle to use them myself. So, yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed these matches. There's a lot to learn and take from. So, yeah, right, pretty devastating, to be honest. I only got 665 of his guys, right? And I fielded a lot more men than him. So, great job on him, because that was definitely a battle that, you know, I think I had a good build, but he did a great job, right? Look at these katanas, 302 kills. Okay, his fire rockets, 161, no losses. That's a great use of those. Yeah, and for me, right, pretty weak, right? Even my general didn't do great, only 30 kills. So yeah, and right, they're just too late to get into the fight. I got to be better with Matchlock Warrior monks, right? Use that extended range, right? One thing I do definitely got to get better at is hotkeying commands, special abilities and stuff. So, but yeah, right, just sort of weak, right? The Daikyu is only 11 kills, right? It's kind of a weak defense, but and then the fire cav, right? He did an exceptional job of just basically eliminating them from the fight. So, let's get into game 2. So, in this one, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if I won this one. This first set of matches, he might have won all 3. I guess we're about to find out, right? This is the beauty of, right, debriefing your battles. right? Having a perfect memory, I don't know many people that do, right, man? 98% are able to retain 90% of like what he read in like 10 minutes, and then he could recite it basically to you. That ain't us normal people. So this is a good way just to continue to learn. So here we go, right? So this time, right, I got some Wakos, all right. We've got the farmhouse, and we've got the archery dojo, and yeah, that's it. That's actually all there is in this. Oh, nope, that's right. Ha! I actually do remember. I almost forgot. This one is tucked right over here, right? The workshop. Okay. So we've got the workshop, we've got the farmhouse, right? And we've got the archery dojo. So I am going to ignore the archery dojo in this one. I think I do win this one. I rush him. Right? This is more of a rush build. So what I've got is my Wakos here. Right? Decided that I'd go get the farmhouse because I actually think the speed will help me a lot here. So Wakos, I've got 3 no-dachis. Right? 2 veterans, 1 non-veteran. Actually, even though I think this guy is technically a veteran, I just didn't put any upgrades on him, but I don't remember exactly. So, and then I have Naginata Warrior Monks. Alright, I've got 2 of those. And then I've got 2 Cav contingents, right? So, that has Great Guard, Yard, and 2 Yari Cavs. And then another one over here. Great Guard and 2 Yari Cavs. Okay. And what he's got, alright, if I remember correctly, he brought a very similar army. So he's got fire rockets, he's got 2 units of Naginata Samurai this time, he's got 3 Katana Samurai, right, his general, he's got a unit of sword attendants over here, okay, which he's going to use to try and take the workshop, get that armor, alright, and then, as per usual, we'll see the Cav come out. So I'm pushing up quick, right? I know I want to get into him early and often in this one. This is a rush. Right, and I'm continuing to work on my patience, right, especially to play a more skirmish style, right, bow general, really better for skirmishing tactics, but, right, but I'm definitely better in the rush, right. It's like trying to eliminate people's abilities to like make decisions, but that costs me a lot. Yeah, I guess, and a lot of you have watched my videos, right? Played against me, so I'm just looking to get this charge here, right? And I have the Yababushi guide, the one that gives you resistance over tough terrain, so you'll move a little better, right? And the fatigue resistance. So get a good charge and they rout, right? Pull them back, okay? And I'm capturing the farmhouse. He's moving in now, okay? So I move my Cav back, right? He's going to get into but it's not a great charge, right? And then I'm able to counter charge. I brought my other Cav over, right? See, and this is what ends up happening with me a lot, right? Because I do see the importance. I've got the ability to win this Cav fight, I truly believe. He's got 2 great cards coming in, but I'm able to get those charges in on him. And now we're just pushing, right? So I'm going to get a nice downhill charge, okay? Now the fire rockets he is going to use quite effectively, and I get dodging, because he's, yep, here it is. And I'm like, oh, and I just started to move, right? Luckily he missed, right? And just being on the top of the hill actually helps me a little bit there. Barrage, right, can't focus as well. Which is always interesting, right? So what I'm going to end up doing, because I know he's targeting him, so I'm going to end up trying to push this gap. We'll see that in a second, right? And I'm like, my Cav is just, if they can just hold them all over here, there, and I can win over here, I feel pretty good, right? So I got my Cav over here, and I remember I'm like, alright, let's get into this blob. I remember just clicking over and just selecting them all and kind of just clicking. I'm like, and now I'm trying to move him, just dodge, bob and weave, get up into the fire rockets. I'm like, you guys keep pushing. Okay. So I've been able to win the infantry fight, right? I think I pop that here soon. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't. I might have completely forgot. I thought I popped the war cry at some point, but the Cav's still holding them down. Okay, I was able to get those fire rockets out of the fight, which for me was huge. I was like, all right. And my Cav might end up winning over here. And that's right, I popped the second wind, if I'm not mistaken. I remember to get that. Right? I ended up losing that, which I was a little surprised, but you know, these are upgraded Naginatas, and that was a non-upgraded warrior monk, if I remember correctly. So, but the big thing was I won the Cav fight, right? And his general. So this is just kind of where it ends, right? He's got these Naginatas left. So now it's just like, okay. And I'm charging these guys down, and I was like, oh, I think I had smoothed them before. Yep. They'll reverse direction. We'll work to charge. Right, my bow general's getting a few shots, but he's gonna come back here. Now he's gonna charge and try and get there, but he can't, so they redirect. But you know, let's kind of get into it. I'm just gonna charge all my guys in. Pretty sure I just charged my general in right here, and I popped that war cry. That's where I did finally pop it. Right, get out of this fight. We're getting behind them, and they're routing. So good game to OG. Another, you know, he does a really good job with these fire rockets. You know, but I was able to just barely avoid with my general. So we'll end there. Another good fight. Fun. Right, continuing to learn. So, but yeah. Having really strong Cav helped me there, though. I didn't really have to micro them too much, right? I was able to leave them on that side of the battlefield. And honestly, I actually didn't expect them to win, but they did. So that would be an interesting section to just go back and see, you know, take a little closer look at the stats and why that unfolded like that. Because I do think he was focusing more of his micro there. Obviously, I could be incorrect, but here we go, right? So all right with my general. Not great, but he was effective in the sense he was able to dodge the fire rockets just enough and then eventually get him out of the fight. Okay, so my Cav, right? It's like kind of crazy, right? It didn't seem like they really did fantastic, right? Nancy's Radis. They did the best, but right, the importance of them was they were just able to basically take his cavalry out of the infantry fight, where I was just a little bit stronger. Yep, these Nodachis, unranked Nodachis, strongest. Good fights, right? Very strong fights from his Naginatas. Like fire rockets are only able to get 27 kills that time, so able to nullify them much better. And yeah, so, and then his Cav, yeah, 2 units of Great Guard, 1 Yari. Yeah, and that was it. And then his general, right? So it was my 4, really, yeah, my 6 versus his 4. And that's why I was able to pull that out. And these are really strong. So, yeah, good fight. Let's get to the third match. Okay, and he does get me in this one. Another great use of the fire rockets. So yeah, we'll see how this goes down. Waterfalls. I don't know why I always struggle on this map. Yeah, it just seems to be one of those maps that I don't win as much, but it's all good. I feel like I'm getting invited to games. Yes, I am. I do appreciate all the invites. Right now, I do. But we got one more breakdown to do. At least for now. One more match to break down. So, before we get going, right? So, Great Guard and Yari Cav. It's kind of been my thing lately to bring Great Guard, Yari Cav. Okay. And I've got 2 units of Katana Cav in this fight as well. My plan was to have them support the infantry across the board, and then even maybe rush them up and try and get into these fire rockets quick. As we will see, my plan does not go accordingly at all. So I've got all my katanas, alright, Akora katanas, I've got Daikyus. Alright, and I didn't bring any spears this time. Yep, I was kind of just thinking my anti-cav was my cav itself, and it was the cav itself, and I'll use the katana cav, although they're not an actual counter to cav, but if I ran into those situations, I would try and use them to assist. So, and we'll get over to OG's, Original's army here. I know, I keep calling him OG, the original, like the original gangsta, but you know, we all understand. So, fire rockets, they're back. He's got 3 Naginata Samurai. He might have a 4th one too, hidden here in the woods. We'll see, and then his cav is all hidden, right? He keeps them hidden. So we got the farmhouse, we've got the workshop, we've got the archery dojo, right? I don't care about that, and neither does he. So, workshop, so my plan was, and I actually messed up. Alright, so I wanted these guys to get here. Alright, and I'm just trying to push right into him. Yeah, he gets a great shot. Ooh, devastating, right? Oh, and I was like, right when he shot that, I was like, man, I should have went loose to start. But what I'm going to try and do, right, is move my cav around. Okay, I assume he has cav back in here. Alright, but really, I'm hoping that I can get up around here. But he moves enough. I'm going to try and sneak them through. It doesn't end up working. Right? Yeah, for whatever reason, they're walking. Yeah, so obviously mistakes here. I needed them to move. Yeah, and I remember I charged my Katana Cav because I was just like, just get into him. I tried to pull him out, but I think I do it too late. Yeah, they're routing. Nope, I guess I didn't try to. And there we go again, right? The Daikyus. Man, I kind of just got there and I'm turned around. This is not good. Don't do that, okay? Don't face your back to the enemy for no reason. For, like, no real reason. Come on, you fool. So anyways, right. Yeah, this is really not ideal. It would have been better if I got one of them into him here, right? So now I'm like, okay, he's... Yep, and he pushes the gap. Great job. Alexander the Great stop. Great job by him. Gets some good shots, right? I am, like, kind of able to catch him, and then I countercharge into his rear. I'm like, maybe I can do some damage. Got my Daikyus shooting it. Oh, here he goes. He's shooting the gap again. Good job. This is, like, great move, right? Just a natural gap through. He's able to just catch me everywhere else. So, exceptional plays. Good job seeing the gap here. Man, I wish I was... It's like, right, it's where having some reserves can be very helpful. So, yeah, now he's just devastating. And I remember just at this point, I'm like, man, this one, you got wrecked, my brother. All good, Sam. Just a game, we live to fight another day. Ooh, got some of his own boys right there. It don't matter, though, right? He's going to rout these guys, and that's game over. OG, the fire rocket machine. Absolutely devastating salvos. Just so really, the first battle was the one that was exceptionally devastating. So let's see how they did in this one. Geez, I'm sure the KD on my end is atrocious, and his was very good. So fun stuff. Good times. Thanks for the games, Original. Good times, as always. So, wait for the load screen a little bit here. In the Wuzoo, it says, "He who would save his life shall lose it, and he who would give up his life shall save it." Very good. Yeah. Woo! 424 kills. Gross. Alright. Good job to my opponent. Devastating, right? Terrible. Look at that. Who was my best killer? Some katana Sammys at 76. Right? Terrible. 9 kills, 7 kills, katanas. Whew. Brutal. Alright. Let's see. The Fire Rockets. 96 kills, but 96 devastating kills and a lot of morale damage, right? And then, yeah, these Naganatas, man, strong, and then a great performance by this great guard. Fire Cav did pretty solid too, right? I mean, devastating. So good job to OG, to Original. Good games, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good night.